The verse for this week comes to us from Matthew 5, verse 13, which says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet." Now, today we sometimes struggle to understand this verse. So let's go back in time. At the time when Jesus said this to his followers, salt was a commodity. In fact, it was so important that a lot of the soldiers actually got a portion of their salary in salt. So, you know, that's important, right? Because that's actually where we get the word salary from, because, they got their worth in salt. Haha. Anyways, so at the time, the salt that they had, it wasn't as pure as the salt we knew now. So there were times when the salt had actually got to be thrown out because it had lost its purity, right? So let's put everything into context. When Jesus is saying to his followers, "You are the salt of the earth," he's saying, okay, you're the salt because salt is very important. Salt was used for preservation. It was used for healing. It was actually something that was included in the sacrifices that were made in the temple. Also, he said, okay, if salt loses its saltiness, then it's worthless, because salt that doesn't taste like salt or doesn't have the properties of salt is it still salt? Probably not. But it basically had no use. So they would literally actually throw it out into the fields, and people would literally walk all over it. Now, how does that apply to us? Basically, what Jesus is saying is that, look, you guys are to go out into the world and make your presence known. You are to go out and you are to do good things, things that bring glory to the Father, right? To your Father who is in heaven. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you're actually worth your salt. You're actually providing value to the people around you. Because guess what? If the children of God has lost the purpose that God has put them on earth for, what's our point? Right? So as you go through this week, I want you to think about that. Think about it. Are you being salt? Or are you being something else? Are you the kind of salt that people actually know that they can use for medicinal purposes, or to flavor their food, or to preserve things? Or are you the kind of salt that's only good to be thrown out into the field?